Welcome everybody to 3 Point Lines here on the Parlay. I'm your host Luca alongside my co-host Noor, and in today's show we're going to be making our picks against the spread for this Tuesday. There's only two games, so we're going to go relatively quick through this. But before we get to our picks, just quickly recap how we've been doing thus far. Myself, I'm 17 and 28 overall, so I'm getting about 60% of my picks right. Not that great. Hopefully I can change that. Noor, I feel like you're beating me.
I'm not. I feel like we're pretty much on the same wavelength right now. I'm at 60% itself. I think 59.8%, something like that. So I rounded it up to 60. I'm like, I gotta make it sound good.
You gave yourself that little extra bump. Yeah, you know what? It's
So
I
slow.
found betting on these games, it's very tough at times because you think the favorite's gonna cash in and then the underdog wins. Like we've been seeing this theme where you just don't know what's gonna happen.
And a lot of teams are almost, I feel like, using this time to figure out what their team will look like and they're gelling. Like, look at the Warriors, look at the Jazz. These top tier teams that were killing it at the beginning of the season are now like losing to teams like Detroit.
Yeah.
So what's happening there?
And that's
And
how
if you pick
yeah.
them and if they lose, that's not on me. Okay.
Yeah.
I did my job. They didn't.
Yeah, you know what? I think that's the beauty of the NBA because there's games literally every single day. Teams play every other day. You can have those moments where teams can have a letdown. Whereas the NFL they play once a week. So for an upset to happen, it's a much bigger ordeal. But for the NBA,
Right.
you're playing almost every single day, so you can obviously slip up. So yeah, keep that in mind when you lay the points with these underdogs. All right, we're gonna get into the first game of two games for tonight. We're going to have the Timberwolves -3 against the Knicks. This is going to be a good game. Who do you got here?
You said it. I think these are two teams that are very similar right now, especially if you look on their respective tables and their respective conferences. I believe the Knicks are 22-22, while the Timberwolves are like 21-22. So literally very, very similar. But this game is going to come down to who has the bigger manpower. Knicks right now are in a back-to-back. They lost to the Hornets last night, but lucky for them, they're still in the city. They're still going to be playing at the Mecca. So it saves them on rest time. And if anything, it gives them the incentive to really want to turn this game around from yesterday. And as we know, NBA teams hate the afternoon. So maybe this was just like a trap game for them yesterday because they did play in the afternoon for the MLK Day. But they won't. Kemba is questionable. He might not be playing. And because they're both so similar, I think this will come down to the performance of Anthony Edwards and Karl Anthony Towns. And I just don't think that the Knicks have anyone that can really stop those two. Because if they're coming at you, what do? The Knicks don't really have those big guys to begin with, and they honestly can't afford to send their entire roster on two big guys. So I'm gonna go with the Timberwolves here, but I still can see how the Knicks really cover this just because they could have the momentum on their side, the stamina, and they are at home.
Yeah, this is an interesting game. It could really go either way. I think I'm gonna side with the T Wolves here. So I do agree with you, Nick. Second, day of the back to back. They're gonna be playing in this one. Quite surprised that the T Wolves are a bit favored in this. I think that's Vegas's way of saying that. Yeah, this T Wolves they are much better than advertised this season. They've been playing well. They continue to move up the standings. They've been a fun team to watch. While everybody's been there, they've been a good team. They've had a bunch of guys, health and safety protocol, etc. But now that they're all together, we see how much talent this team has. And I do think this is going to be a big game for Cat inside. Expect them to have a double-double and then some. And I think, the T-Wolves are going to be able to run up the score here. The Knicks, their defense is not as good as it was a year ago. We've seen that in, game out. But I think this is going to be a high-scoring game in general. I took the over in the other show that I had today. So I think this will be, a high scoring game where the Knicks are able to take advantage of a very weak 3-point shooting defense that the T-Wolves have. But then flip side, the T-Wolves are going to take advantage of a weak defense that the Knicks have in general. So yeah, this should go down to the wire. Should be a good game, but I will lay the 3. I think the Timberwolves are going to come away with a big time win at MSG. And Knicks are going to lose back-to-back games.
It's going to be interesting, eh? And look at us already on the same page. We don't make it that interesting, Luca. We need to be like fighting on camera.
I know we're
Anyway,
going to disagree more.
now on the other side, Pistons and Warriors. We just mentioned the Warriors they're trying to figure themselves out. This is the best team going against the worst team in the league. What do you think happens here?
Well, I just saw on Twitter, Steph Curry took a shot at NBA Twitter. He's like, I go on Twitter and I see how, I ruined the game. So expect maybe a pissed off Steph for this one. Maybe he uses this fuel as his ammunition and takes it out on the Pistons tonight. The Pistons are such a weird team. We saw with the Raptors on Friday, the Dwayne Casey effect. This is a team when you think they're going to get blown out, they somehow keep things close, and they've been having a pretty good January against the spread. This is a team that is covering spreads. They're not getting blown out, and when they do get blown out, the next game they usually show up. The Warriors, they peaked so early. We saw all the success they were having, and now people think, oh, this team not as good as we thought. I think we got to hold the brakes on that. I think it's a matter of time until we really see what this Warriors team is capable of. You got to keep in mind, Klay Thompson hasn't even been back, for a week or 2 weeks yet. So it's going to take some time for him to get back into rhythm. I think this Warriors team is A-okay. 15.5 is a lot of points. But after I saw Steph's comment on Twitter today, I think he's going to take it out on the court. I think this Warriors team's going to explode. The Pistons, they're not playing the Raptors. They're getting blown out tonight. I'm laying the 15.5 points.
You're banking on a blowout, is what you're telling me.
Basically.
-15. Damn, Luca. You know what? We're deferring here, actually. I do agree with you. I think that the Pistons are a team that just don't make any sense right now, especially the past month, like you mentioned. They've won the 3 of their last 5, and 2 of them were the Jazz and the Raptors. They beat our ass. So it's like how it doesn't make any sense how this team goes about and does what it does. But they're still going up against the Warriors, and the Warriors are in a shooting slump right now. I think I have a conspiracy theory, and tell me if I'm wrong and how insane this sounds. But my theory on why Curry has his arm pretty much turned off is because I feel like he's letting Klay kind of mesh back in the lineup and figure himself out, figure out his feet, his shot selections, who he is after, because he hasn't played basketball in 2 years. And if you're
Yeah.
coming back from an injury like that, that's completely rendered you of physical activity and just what that touch feels like on an NBA floor. And, Curry's the guy. Curry's going to be the best teammate all around. So in my head, I'm like, what if he was just like, I had my moment, I got my record breaker, now my guy's back in the lineup, so let me have a step back and let him figure out who he is as a person. And of course, if he took 2 years off, he's going to take more than 2 weeks to be that Klay Thompson again. It's going to take us forever to see who he was beforehand, but that's kind of where I'm like, maybe Curry's letting him have that freedom to figure it out. And they also don't have Draymond Green. Draymond Green is their
Yeah.
machine. He's the guy, he's the spear that takes everything all together. He does the little things, the defense that he pulls together, the steals, the offense, the IQ, the spacing, whatever he provides is everything winning that converts into winning for the Warriors. Right now, they're not that team. They haven't been playing that great. I don't think they cover the -15.5 spread. I do think they win. I just don't think they cover it. But
Yeah.
I do think, like you mentioned, this whole Warriors, what this team is now, that woe is me kind of narrative is very old, because in a month, once the Splash Brothers are, making it rain on your team, you're going to be crying. And we're going to be like, well, why did we worry about the Warriors ever?
Yeah, it could be a good bet. I don't know what I'm thinking. I usually take the points, but I just have a feeling they will blow them out tonight. That's probably in large part to me not liking the Pistons. But yeah, the Warriors have not looked like themselves. Draymond Green, he's been their glue guy. He hasn't been there. So we'll see if tonight is a typical Warriors game or if the Pistons can make it
I do
close.
think you're
So
right, though. Whenever Curry's pissed off, his arm's like red hot. So
yeah.
it could be a big Curry night.
That's what I'm banking on. We'll see. But let us know who you like for tonight's games in the NBA. Only 2, so bet wisely. We'll see how we do. We agree on one, disagree on the other. But this is 3-point lines here on the parlay. You can catch us daily everywhere on social media. We'll be bringing you NBA picks and hopefully some winners. On behalf of myself and Noor, thank you for watching. We'll catch you again in the next one. Take care.